Hey, horror heads.
Texas toast.
Oh, Lord.
So are we doing your thing first and my
Nope,
thing?
you're up.
Alrighty. So, remember when I said we were going to get reviews about popular, well, maybe not popular, but horror movies, books, TV shows, all that kind of stuff? I got your first one ready right here. So, forewarning, this review will, in fact, have a ton of spoilers, so listen at your own discretion. Watched a German movie called The Privileg.
Well, that's why I didn't hear of it, because I was like, what the hell is it?
Well, it actually just came out on Netflix for us.
Has it got subtitles?
They do have an English sub to it. Or English dub, rather.
Okay, because
I've watched it both ways.
I don't want to read a movie.
I've watched it both ways. The German, having it in the original language does help a little bit more, because, like, the manner of speaking is a bit more, it feels more natural, I guess would be the way to put it. Duh. But in Germany, it's called Das Privileg, die Auserwählten.
Which means?
The Privilege, or the Chosen Ones.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So anyway, movie starts off with a kid playing some kind of, like, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct fighting game knockoff.
So
and
he's playing a video game.
Yes.
Okay.
His parents are going out to watch his sisters play. His twin sister, mind you. That'll be important later on.
Oh, God. Creepy twin vibes.
Leaving his older sister to watch him. His twin sister, his name is Finn.
And how old are they?
Let's see, Finn and his twin sister are probably like 10-ish.
Creepy kids.
And his older sister's probably around 18-ish.
Alright, continue.
So the parents take the twin sister to go to her play. He's playing a video game for whatever reason, because he's a kid. And his sister's just like, you kid,
He's not beat to go to a play.
No. And his older sister's just like, you people are ruining my life. And they're just like, you can't go out and party all the time. So.
Because Germany.
Yeah. And the movie.
Different age of drinking over the pond.
Yeah. But then immediately the movie just throws you right into the spookiness.
Okay.
You see the view from the outside. And first of all, the living room has like one entire wall that's windows. Which bothers me on a personal level.
Yeah, creep factor just went way up.
Because if I'm going to be in that kind of room, my back is not facing that goddamn window.
No. No, I'm like that at work. I'm like, no, I had to move my desk. I'm like, I need to sit on the other side. Told my boss, I said, I don't like having my back to what I've watched too many horror flicks.
Exactly.
You are not sneaking up on me.
It is going to be to my side or in front of me. That way I can just keep an eye on it somewhere.
Yes.
In case some shit goes down.
At all times know where all emergency exits are.
So, keeping it to the side of me or in front of me, because I don't know what shit goes down in Germany. I don't know what goes bump in the night out there.
Yeah.
This is where you get a glimpse of the monster.
Shit that goes bump in the night here, just in a different country.
So this is where you get the first glimpse of the monster demon thingy that kind of pervades out through the entire movie.
Okay, so it's a monster demon thingy.
Yes. It actually is kind of spooky looking. It's kind of like a demon.
Nope, don't tell me. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Alright.
I'm just kidding.
I warned you that there were spoilers anyway.
Go ahead.
So, kind of looks like a demon in fog or smoke or some shit. Anyway, his sister Anna is up in her room, and if I remember correctly, the kid, like, senses something where, like, the alarms go off for their security system. And he goes outside, and he grabs his toy that's just chilling on the patio table, because that was important.
Okay.
And then he goes back in.
Tell me it wasn't a creepy-ass doll.
No, it wasn't. It was like a little, like, action figure almost.
Creepy-ass doll!
Goes back in, doesn't notice the demon thingy outside, and then he hears screams or something coming from his sister's room.
Jesus.
And, you know, so he goes up to investigate. You hear noises like a...
As one does.
In a horror movie, nonetheless.
Yes.
So, you hear noises like a fight's going on. Sister doesn't literally rip the door open, but rips the door open, bloodied up, talking shit like, we gotta get out of here, it's not safe here. Blood, like, hanging around her face, all over her hands, she's got a knife in her hand, that's all bloodied up.
Yeah, no.
So...
I've already been out the door.
So they're heading out to the car, and then he sees the thing, and he's just like, yeah, I think something's chasing after us. We gotta go. And she's like, oh, finally. He sees the thing, but not the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
So they get into the car to drive off. They get into this tunnel and catch another glimpse of the monster thing. And this one's more of like, you just see like the smoke that it's enveloped around.
So this movie is based on present day.
This part of the movie is past tense.
No, but I mean, it's not like in 1980.
Yeah, the movie itself takes place current time.
Okay, that's what I meant.
So, you see the glimpse of this monster again, and the car dies in the middle of the road, outside of the tunnel that they were going in.
Why does the car always fucking die in the middle of the... Wait, let me guess. And it's in the woods.
No, that's where I was about to tell you. It's different. It's on top of a dam.
Really?
It's on top of a dam.
Oh my.
So, it's on top of a dam, and she starts going on about, come over the railing, you won't get us here, come on. And I think, like I said, I think the kid's name was Finn. She's like, come on, Finn, it's safer over here on the other side of the railing. I'll keep you safe here. So, like the dumb fucking shit that the kid is, he climbs over the railing with his sister. So, then either she slips or is trying to commit unalive with her brother.
Commit unalive.
But she's dangling off the side, hanging onto his leg. And she's like, you gotta let go. We're not safe.
It's the creature.
And she's like, you gotta let go. It's not safe for us. And he's like, no, I'm scared. And then this is probably the smartest thing the kid's fucking done the entire movie so far. We're only like 10 minutes in. Kicks the sister off his leg as she just, stock audio screams off the side of the dam.
She fucks directly off.
She's like, and this is like, you hear the scream, it is 100% stock audio. And then just at the very bottom.
Oh, so
and
you hear the splat?
Kinda. So then it cuts.
They're on a dam, so does she fall in the water or does she fall
It's a dry end of the dam.
Okay, so she hits concrete.
She hits like ground, gravel, all the fun stuff.
Alright.
I guess she bounced off the dam a few times because
you hear a kerplunk.
So
yeah,
you cut to the aftermath of the fall. Finn's just like wrapped up in like those ambulance like foil blankets or whatever.
Yeah.
The parents.
So wait, how did the ambulance get there?
I guess the parents called when they found out the kids weren't at the house.
Well, how do they know which way the kids went?
I think the road's like a one-way street.
Oh, of course it is.
So like it's a one-way to and from. They never really.
Of course it is.
They never explained that part, but the kid's sitting in the ambulance. The parents finally show up. They're like, "Where is she? Where's my daughter?" They show a shot of the daughter, head's cracked open, kind of like eaten up already. And she's just dead as ever, dead as she can be.
As a doornail.
The father's like, Finn, what happened?
I wonder where that saying ever came from.
Probably with coffins.
Oh.
So.
Look at you thinking on your feet.
So, the father's like, Finn, what happened? He's like, come on, Finn, tell me what happened. He's like trying to slap some sense into him, basically. And then he's just like, oh, whatever, as long as you're okay. And then it fades out from there. Now,
that's the first 10 minutes?
That's the first 10 fucking minutes of this movie.
Jesus H!
Like I said, it throws you right in. Now we cut up to our current time.
Okay.
So, he's a high school student now. He's still going through therapy because the event... Watching your sister die can fuck you up pretty bad.
Yes.
So he's still going through therapy for all this because, it's understandable. And after the therapy session this time, the doctor gives him some pills that he's never taken before. So it's like, whatever.
He's gonna be tripping balls.
Goes on to school, usual stuff. The scene that they show is that, like, during, like, a biology class, they're talking about, I can't remember the full name, but it's the zombie fungus.
The one that affects bees?
Yeah, it's like cordyceps something or other.
I know what you're talking about.
It's gonna bug me if I don't know the name.
It affects bees.
Yeah.
Or ants, or something like that.
It's like cordyceps lagabugawagandugal, or whatever, I don't know. But it's that fungus. And so they just kind of trail off from there, and so him and his lesbian friend Lena, the lesbian part comes into play later. I'll explain why.
I was wondering why you're mentioning that.
So they sneak out to a party that's being held by the oh-so-cool popular kids, which happens at the school. in, like, the gym area where... It's Germany, I don't fucking know. So, like, the party takes place in their, like, deep as fuck Olympic-sized pool that they have at the school. I guess it's a private school.
I'm gonna have to ask my sister and my brother if that shit really happens in Germany.
I mean, who knows? But I guess it's a private school, or else it wouldn't look as nice as it does.
Oh, that could be, yes.
So...
Bougie.
Yeah. So they sneak out to the party. Lena crashes the party, because they were originally not allowed, like, no lesbos and no weirdos. And she crashes the party.
Well,
it's like,
then it's not going to be much of a fucking party.
And that's basically what she does. She's just like, fuck the cool kids for thinking we're not allowed. Love is love and all that. And then basically that helps revitalize the party. Afterwards, everyone starts taking drugs. I mean, everyone. The cool kids, the not so cool kids, Lena, Finn himself.
Finn is already tripping balls from meds he don't
And
know.
I mean, he starts tripping balls! Capital B-A-W-L-Z, balls! He starts seeing his sister's death again, mid-trip, and then he sees his lesbian friend Lena making out with his love interest while they're both covered in blood.
Oh.
So
yeah. With a capital Z.
Yeah, so that's what he sees, and then it cuts to the next morning. His dad's just like, hey, don't forget to visit your grandfather. He's gonna have his surgery soon. And he's like, oh, shit, you're right. I'll go visit him now. On his way out, so he goes to visit his grandfather. You know, they have like a little heart-to-heart. It's like, yeah, you know, the grandfather's just like, I would love it if you were there before and after. And of course, you know, they make that little like, oh yeah, grandfather, I'll be there kind of thing. On his way out of the hospital, he starts hearing shit.
Oh, no.
And as he's walking out, he finds this old woman's room. And, like, they try to do, like, a little jump scare stinger kind of thing where it's like, huh! Where she looks over at him with the noise.
Right.
And I'm just like, alright, cool. And then he's a little creeped out, but he leaves. So then it cuts to Finn's parents talking about their kids, and Finn overhears them. And they're talking about, like, maybe Finn's not ready for it, you know. But, you know, he and Sophie are stronger than their sister Anna. And they're just talking about some weird shit. They don't fully go into detail. It just, that's essentially all you hear. And later on, he takes his new meds, and Lena calls him to talk about the party. Like, hey, the shit you saw me and, what was her name, Samira doing, none of that happened. That was all in your head. So Finn's is like, alright, cool, I was just tripping then. Good to know. So they hang up.
Tripping balls!
So he goes to bed. After taking the new pills. Later, he's woken up by talking that he hears from the living room. You know the one that I fucking hate.
With all the windows.
With the one wall window. He goes to check it out and he sees his parents with an old woman and his twin sister. Now, it's the same fucking old woman from the hospital. And he sneaks outside so he can spy on them without them noticing. So, the old woman starts feeling up his sister, for whatever fucking reason. They don't explain that part. And he grabs an axe, I guess unconsciously, he kind of just, like, wanders out to the patio, and he grabs an axe. And then, before anything else happens, sister turns around, spots him, and then it cuts back to him, and he gets sideswiped by the monster thingy. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay.
Yeah. He comes to and he checks to make sure
Do we ever get a clear vision of the monster thingy?
Yes, you get a real clear shot of it in the very beginning when I say you get a glimpse of them, and when they see it again when they're about to leave when he and his older sister are about to leave. You get really clear shots of this thing.
I thought, before the sister dies.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. Every time they show you the monster, you get a clear shot of the monster.
Okay, but it's like a misty thing.
You see like a demonic shape, but it's like vaguely clouded in like a black fog.
Okay.
So, where am I? I'm looking at my notes. There we go. So he wakes up. His parents are there. Like, make sure he's okay. Their doctor's there. The one that's been doing like the therapy with him and all that. He's like, is Sophie okay? Sophie being the twin sister.
Right.
So they all give him their parents and the doctor wonder like, what's been going on with you? You've been acting weird. And he's just like, you think I'm crazy, don't you? Whatever. And he walks back up to his room. So the next morning, Finn wakes up. He looks rough. Like, you can tell, like, the lack of sleep and all that he's been getting from having all these weird, twisted visions. They've been taking their toll. You can see, like, his eyes are sunken in. He, like, looks like me on a good day.
Yeah.
So, he's at school and he's talking to Lena. He's like, you know, I'm really, really worried about Sophie. She just turned 18. Anna was 18 when she died. I don't want her to end up the same way Anna did. And
well, they're twins, so that means he just turned 18 too.
So, he's just like, I don't want her to end up like Anna and it to be my fault. So later that night, he sneaks into Sophie's room with a bat, thinking he's going to be able to protect her. By the way, you get another glimpse of the demon thingy.
So and they may not cover in the movie, but I'm always curious. Out of the twins, is he the older twin or is she the older twin?
I'm assuming he's the older twin because he's the taller of the two.
Oh, well, that doesn't always mean anything.
Yeah, but if he's saying
it's just curiosity on my part.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be the older twin because he's kind of got like that older brother, kind of like I have to protect my sister kind of mentality. So, feeling like he can protect her. Oh, she wakes up, calls him crazy. End of that little plot scenario.
Well, I would assume that would scare the shit out of you. You're sleeping and you open your eyes and you see your brother standing over you with a fucking bat.
Well, how the scene's set up.
That's like a oh shit moment.
Well, how they set up the scene, he walks in and they pan the camera underneath the bed where you see the demon thingy again, just chilling under the bed. But they make it like a blink and
as demons do.
They make it kind of like a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. I'm like, we're not going to talk about the demon under the bed, right? So he sits down in the chair next to her bed. He hears something. Stands up, goes to check out the door, turns around, sister's already up, like, what are you doing in here? So they have their little conversation. He calls her crazy. So, the next day, his sister's ex, Ramin, contacts Finn for them to meet up. Because he's just like, Ramin's just like, yo, something's going on, you and your sister aren't safe, meet me at the diner, which I guess is like a German way of saying like a convenience store.
Oh, so it's not like a place you would actually get food.
Well, I mean, it's like a place you get food, but it's like one of those, like, it's like when you're on the highway and you, like, veer off one of the exits, and it's like, you get like a Burger King next to a gas station kind of deal.
Okay.
It's like one of those, I guess.
Stop shopping.
Yeah, basically. But it was like the diner plus a convenience store, and it had a car wash next to it, like connected to it.
Alrighty.
That I thought was weird, but that might
after you fill your belly, you just want to wash your car.
But that's like me being an American. I don't know if that's just a normal German thing. I thought that alone was weird.
Yeah, we don't.
I've never seen.
And we're not knocking Germany at all. I have a brother and a sister that are German and live in Germany. We just don't know how things work.
Yeah, I don't. There. I have friends out in Germany. I have nothing against them. You know, they probably think of the shit that we have is weird too.
Well, I mean, we are American and we're fucking crazy.
So, where was I on this? Oh, right. So Ramin asks Finn to meet up with him at the diner / gas station / car wash. And before Finn even gets there, Ramin gets offed by this, like, so the way they do this scene, you see Ramin sitting there kind of fidgety, like, he's like, oh man, I hope he makes it here in time, I don't want to, blah, 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 I hope nothing happens.
So what fucking killed him?
There's this old woman that walked by him, and she kind of walks off to the side, and he's just like, oh, I guess he thinks, oh man, something's going on, I guess I should go check it out, because, you know, fucking stupid teenagers in horror movies.
Yes.
That's a universal trope, apparently.
Yes. So
he goes out of the diner toward, I guess, where the car wash is. And goes to the car wash, and he sees the old woman just, like, out cold or dead or something on the car wash floor.
Creepy old lady.
Goes to check on her, fucking jumps him, and then just strangles him with, like, a garrote wire or something.
Oh!
Like, something that she's using as a garrote.
Hello, old lady.
Kills him.
Okay.
Finn finally shows up. Sees that Ramin is dead. He's been tied to, like, the top of a car or something. But because of circumstance and, like, the evidence that the police have instead of the evidence that, you know, would have helped him out, they think he's crazy. Go fucking figure.
Wow.
That's going to be a running theme, is that people think Finn is crazy. And that he may have had something to do with it. Or that Ramin killed himself and just, you know, happened to be there. And Finn's like, first of all, why would Ramin kill himself like this? And second of all, how would he get on top of a car?
Yeah.
To pose himself while dead.
Yeah. Some things just aren't adding.
Yeah, it's weird at points. So he gets back home and he's about to take his pill when he notices something weird. There's a bit of fungus in his pills.
Oh shit.
So the next day he shows Lena, who suggests that they show their science professor, the one that was talking about the zombie fungus.
The zombie fungus.
And then she recommends they take it to a fungus specialist that she knows.
Oh no.
So, while looking up stuff about the specialist, Finn's love interest, Samira, stops by and asks if he wants to study later. Then, cool guy von Dickenstein shows up and bullies both of them.
That's not really his name.
No.
Okay.
His real name's Leander, I think.
What did you call him?
Cool guy von Dickenstein.
Oh my.
So,
again, if that's someone's name, we're sorry.
If someone's actually named Cool Guy von Dickenstein, I want to be your friend.
Yeah, that's pretty damn awesome, actually.
But anyway, so after that little fiasco with that guy, they go and visit the fungi lady, who tells them, because I don't remember her fucking name. I think it's some...
Fungi lady is just fine.
I do not remember her name throughout the entire thing, so it's going to be fungi lady, fungus woman, mushroom girl, stuff like that. You're going to hear multiple variations of it.
Whatever works.
But yeah, they visit her, and they show her the mushroom, and she's like, where was this? And he's like, it was in my pills that my doctor gave me. And she's like, yeah, this shit's bad, and we gotta get this fixed, like, yesterday. Your sister's in danger. But Finn's like, for once, Finn thinks someone other than himself is crazy.
Oh my.
And then walks out of there like, this is bullshit. And then he goes to the hospital to visit his grandfather before his grandfather's operation. Finn follows them without being noticed and watches what happens. So I guess he had some kind of like stomach, like some kind of cancer where they had to cut open his abdomen or whatever.
Okay.
So they cut him open, and the black fog starts seeping out of Grandpappy's belly.
Oh no.
Finn sees this, and is just like, holy shit. So Finn's freaking out. I'm concerned. The movie's starting to get a little stale now, and we're only halfway through.
Yeah.
So Finn returns home to find Samira at his place because he forgot about the study plans that they had made earlier in the day. So his parents leave, then Lena shows up, then the fungus woman and her son show up.
Fungus woman.
Then they show up. They perform an EVP session that summons the fucking thing.
'Cause why not?
So after it's summoned,
It only kills people, but why not?
So the fungus monster thingy, whatever it's supposed to be, shows up. And it injures Mushroom Lady, and her son's just like, no, fuck this, we're out, fuck you guys, my mom's injured, I'm out.
Yep.
So
taking my ball and going home.
Yup. So then, as they're packing up, the parents show back up. They're like, what the fuck are you doing in our house? And they're like, oh, we're leaving anyway, don't worry about it. And then everyone leaves, and they're about to grill Finn like, what the hell were you doing? There were weird people in our house. Lena was here for some reason. We get it. Samira was here. What were you guys planning on doing? So, before any of that really even starts, Finn's like, no, I'm leaving too. So he follows Lena and Samira. And then Sophie falls down the stairs because she's getting ill. Because from the weird ritual thingy that Finn watched them. Yeah, that. So, the trio go back to their school where the party was, and they hide out there. And they have like a whole little...
Because the school's the perfect place to hide.
So, like, as they're hiding...
Demons won't think to look for you at the school.
Yup. So, like, they're having their heart-to-heart, like, you know, what if this is it? What if this is our, you know, what if this is the end of our lives? Like, what if this is the end of our lives?
Do they bang?
Obligatory sex scene, but with a twist.
Oh my fucking god.
Threesome! Pew, 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 pew.
Fireworks and bottle rockets.
Air horns everywhere. So yeah, that was the weird, like, when I watched it, I'm like...
Let's just throw a sex scene in here.
Like, you know, like...
What? 'Cause why not?
I mean, there's always some kind of sex scene in horror movies, nowadays at least, because that's a trope that started back in the 80s. But I was like, threesome, that's different at least.
Well, yeah.
So, in the afterglow of
It's not unique. It has happened before.
So, in the afterglow, Samira is attacked by the creature. Because, like, I guess Finn walked off to go take an after-sex piss or something. He comes back, and Samira's like, wait, if you're not holding my hand, then what is? Demon thing!
Oh my.
Burns some weird marking into her arm. I don't think it's, like, any specific marking. It's just, like a bite mark, almost. And then, where was I? Oh, so they don't know what to do, so they're like, you know what, it's better if we just go on like normal, that way we don't raise any suspicion.
Demon thing!
Yeah.
Where did the demon thing go? Off in the great blue yonder?
So, later, I guess like the next day, Finn sees Coolin Guy assholin run to the bathroom while he's on the phone with his mom, who's been an actual bitch the entire movie, by the way. His mother is probably the most unlikable person in this movie.
She got a case of the twats.
So, Cool Guy apparently hacked up a gnarly loogie in the sink and ran off. They show you what looked inside. It was like a fungus yellow in the sink.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a gnarly loogie. So, it cuts to him on top of, it cuts to Leander. Cuts to Leander, the cool guy, on top of the roof. He's got a knife in his hand. And then you see him shove the knife into his mouth after he shouts something along the lines of, I have to get it out. And he shoves the knife and you see him like sawing at the inside of his mouth. That was a weird hand motion that I just did. So you see him sawing at the inside of his mouth with the knife. And then he basically just T-poses, boom, right off the top of the building.
So he poked his own brain.
No, he like cut the inside of his mouth apart. Like, I think it was like they said he cut the palate of his mouth.
Ugh.
So he T-poses, and then falls off the roof, Jesus style, even though Jesus didn't fall off a roof. But you get my point.
I get it.
But this time, this is the moment in the movie where someone falls off something and doesn't fucking die. So, the paramedics show up and they take him to the hospital. So, afterward, Lena does a quick...
God bless you, because I'd have been like, fuck this movie.
Oh, no, yeah, like I said, it's fucking weird. So after this, Lena does a quick Google search and goes to a seminar for the medication that Finn and Samir have been taking, the one with the fungus in it. She sneaks off...
fungus among us.
Yeah. So at the seminar, I think she sees Finn's dad as part of like one of the guest speakers or something. But she sneaks off, and she sneaks off into like the basement area where she finds this room full of...
creepy room.
Full of corpses.
Oh, because, why not?
That the fungi are growing off of that are being harvested along with their spores for the medicine.
Ooh.
The fungus in the medicine is fungus that is growing off of corpses.
So, the plot thickens. So the doctor...
Oh, also I want to point out poor mushroom lady is among the dead bodies that the fungus is growing off of, so that kind of bummed me out. So yeah, the doctor has prescribed a weird psychotropic fungus medicine thing to Finn as a way of saying like, yeah, this will help with your traumatic hallucinations and all that. Meanwhile, it's just making it fucking worse for him.
And it sounds like he is the actual problem.
So, meanwhile, while she's sneaking off to find that room, Finn and Samira find out that the patients that were prescribed the pills all have a singular connection to each other, in that they are all adopted. Finn and his sister are adopted. Samira's...
The twins are adopted?
The twins are adopted. Samira was adopted. Finn's adopted father was adopted.
Oh.
There's like a whole connection.
What do they got against people who are adopted?
Well, they
shit.
They don't go into full detail about this, but Leander's father, who happens to be a detective, which I forgot to mention this earlier, he showed up at the Ramin's death earlier in the movie. And Leander's father shows up and he spills the beans about everything, essentially. And it involves this creature or being named Tronthal that Finn's grandfather had encountered at some point. I'm assuming during some fucking hallucination, or they don't explain how the encounter went. They're just like, yeah, Tronthal, your grandfather met him, and that's how this all started.
Jesus H.
Yeah, that's essentially how they explain it.
And it's really not much of an explanation.
No, they just expect you to go with it. So, he had the encounter with Tronthal. They create the Tronthal Group, which is the pharmaceutical company that makes the pills.
So they're essentially just keeping this demon thing alive.
Yep.
By harvesting people.
By harvesting mushrooms off of dead bodies, yep.
Okie doke.
So.
Because why not?
So, after that bombshell gets dropped, Finn watches his father keel over in the hospital. Like, you hear the ee and everything.
Oh, you got the beeps, huh?
Yeah, he flatlined pretty badly. So he watches that and he's just like, oh, my grandfather, and then he gets jabbed in the neck by his doctor. So, he comes to, but he's bound to a gurney with an IV. He gets rolled into a secret room where you find out he's been chosen as the new host for, I'm assuming, Tronthal, which is the monster you've been seeing throughout the fucking movie.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. And then you also learn, like, oh, hold on, I gotta read this because in this note I thought it was a funny line.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's weird. It's stupid weird. But I'm just gonna read the sentence as I put it.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't have to watch this.
I'm just going to read the sentence as I wrote it because it's funny. He gets rolled into a secret room and you find out he's been chosen as the new host for, I'm assuming, Tronthal, which is apparently the monster he's been seeing since the night his sister bungee jumped without a cable.
Well, you worded that nicely.
Yeah! His grandfather wasn't actually dead. His sister was indoctrinated into this cult. And they're all way too okay with sacrificing a teenager for my liking.
Yeah.
I'm all good for a horror movie teenager sacrifice, but whoo!
Yeah, I mean, this whole movie just sounds like a clusterfucked shit show.
This movie, like, picked, like, 6 genres and just, pinballed off of them trying to figure out what to do. But, like, I get it. He was an adopted kid, but even as adopted parents, they are way too okay with just offing their child.
Yeah.
So.
Fuck it. We're just gonna, here, have a set of twins.
Yeah. So as the cultists are performing the ritual, which, by the way, the surgery apparently was because the grandfather wasn't a suitable host for Tronthal anymore.
Oh my god.
So, the grandfather basically jumps on top of Finn, spits the black fog into Finn like, here, now it's your problem. And then Lena comes in and saves the day. Takes out the grandfather, with Finn's help, takes out the doctors that were holding him down.
And Lena's the gay girl.
There's the lesbian girl, yes. And, so yeah, with Finn's help, they take out the doctors that were performing the whole, demon transplant surgery. And so the cultists are, like, in a trance during the ritual, so they don't know what the fuck's going on. So Lena sets them all on fire.
Well, I kind of don't blame her.
But yeah, Lena shows up and saves him by removing the fungal parasite in his mouth and setting the secret mushroom cult room on fire. That's how I had that written. So, that's on fire. The house itself starts catching on fire. They light the gas in the fireplace, and then big boom. Big boom.
Great big boom.
They, along with Samira, escape the now blazing house to the dam. But before they leave, Sophie tries to stop him and was like, Finn, don't you want to be like one of us? And then Finn's just like,
fuck no!
And then, yeah, Finn was just basically like, fuck no, gun it. And they just run over Sophie. And then they were heading out. They're trying to escape.
It's a shame that was his twin.
Yeah, it is. But, when you're indoctrinated into a cult, it's a little too late for you. Especially when it's a psychotropic cult that physically messes with your brain via dead mushroom thingies. So, as they're escaping, they're in the same tunnel from the beginning of the movie. Tronthal attacks again. Causes the car to veer off the road a little bit. They're back on the dam now. They hit the guardrail.
It's come full circle and they're back on the dam.
Essentially. So the car goes off the guardrail a little bit. It's like half on, half off. And Sophie's like unconscious in the back. Or no, not Sophie. Fucking Samira. She's unconscious in the back. Lena and Finn get out and they're like, we gotta save her real quick. And they pull her out. Car falls down, explodes, and you hear the monster scream. So you assume that's the end of it.
Well, shit.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me read.
You said assume, so I'm gonna...
Hold on. I'm gonna read this because I thought this was funny as well.
Alright, keep reading.
They along with...
I gotta check the oven.
Oh, go right ahead. This is for the viewers then. Or listeners. They, along with Samira, escaped the now blazing house to the dam where it all began. Along the way, Chongthal attacks them because, you know, if I can't have that supple teenage body, then no one can!
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
So finally, they're at the end. All three of them are safe, and they walk into the distance. Mom, you might want to come back for this, because you're going to want to sit down for this one.
Well, I need to tinkle real fast.
Alright, then you'll piss yourself laughing in there. They walk into the distance, and then they pull a fucking thriller on us! As Samira turns around, and her eyes are fucking different! Like... It was identical to the end of Thriller, where he turns around and you see the yellow werewolf eyes.
Well, you know, everybody loves Michael Jackson.
So I swear to God, my brain inserted the Vincent Price laughter at the end, just on its own. So, like, you...
I might watch it just to watch the end.
So, like, Samira turns to the camera, her eyes are different, and my brain immediately went, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Yes.
So, because of that ending, I don't know if they were trying to set up a sequel or a franchise or something, but if anything, just on one sequel, like, make it a duology. They cannot make this a franchise, because it is gonna end up like those shitty, like, convenience, like shopping mall, fucking, like, $5 bin movies. Like the one you see at Target that are like $5 and you're like 80%, like, C movies that you've never heard of.
Dollar General does it now, too.
Yeah, like the bin movies where it's like C-list movies that you've never heard of.
Dollar Tree even has dollar movies.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's gonna end up like that if they try to make more of these.
That's how it ends.
That's how it ends.
And what is your honest opinion on a scale of 1 to 5?
Oh, I did it as a 1 to 10, but here's how this goes.
Okay.
There's no way that this movie can generate the staying power of other horror franchises that have begun, like, within the last decade. We're talking, like, Insidious, The Conjuring, stuff like that.
Right.
There's no way it's going to be able to hold up like that. 2 movies, that's it. That's where I think it should end. Second movie is about, you know, Finn and Lena trying to save Samira or something, and then they cut it there. Cut dry, end of story.
Well, did they ever say that you could be cured from this thing?
No, they never cured.
Okay,
they never
so
bring it
that
up.
would be something they could talk about in a second if.
That's why I said if they do a second one, that's how they should do it. Is like Finn and Lena trying to help cure Samira. That's how they should end that whole story.
All right.
So it was a strong start because, like I said, it throws you right in. You're like, oh man, this is spooky as hell. I wonder what this is. And then it just kind of drags a little bit, and then it just sputters on.
Fucking dies.
And that, like, you're listening to me to talk about this, and you're like, wow, this movie just kind of goes on, doesn't it?
Apparently not.
So, as of right now, I've heard that this movie's doing pretty well on Netflix, but that's all it's going to be, is it's going to do good for now. But in, like, a month or so, I think it's just going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be the next new horror thing. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this, like, a 6. Like, it's good.
How were the
like, effects?
Yeah.
So the monster looked pretty good.
Or as Warren calls it, cunts, tits, and ass.
Oh, because SFX got it. But yeah, the effects were pretty good. Like the druggy, like the drug trippy scenes were interesting. Like, I like how they did that.
The monster was kind of.
The monster was good, but like not. It was clearly not like AAA quality. Like Marvel shelling out $1 billion for like doing Gamora's hair good. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
But
gotcha.
like, it's 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Would recommend for like a single viewing as long as you plan on riffing on it.
And think of it as a comedy.
Yeah, like, there's some wacky shit that happens in that movie. Like, if you watch it once and then you go back and watch it, you're like, wow, they've really telegraphed a lot of this movie throughout the fucking movie.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was the German movie, Das Privileg, die how do I say it? Auserwählten? Also known as The Privilege. The Chosen Ones. A really confused horror movie that didn't know what it wanted to be, but knew that it at least wanted to try and be a horror movie. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. I'm sorry it took 40 minutes of me ranting. But, you know, that's what you come to expect from stuff like us at this point, I'm hoping, is that we just rant a bunch. So, as my mom's giggling off to the side. So, thank you for tuning into Horror Cultural, where we
share love for all things spooky and macabre.
Close, but I'll take it.
Fuck.
It's grow love.
Also, please, if you like what we're doing so far, give us 5 stars.
And don't forget to follow us on any other places that you may listen to podcasts to. We actually have social media stuff up now. We have a Facebook page now. We have Instagram, I believe, now, too.
We have Instagram, and we have a YouTube.
We have YouTube, where we'll probably be putting these up as, like, little,
yeah,
like maybe motion graphic kind of stuff.
I have the other 2 up. I'm working on it. We do not have... Right now, we're just on Spotify. I'm still working, and Google Podcasts, I think we're on.
So we don't have, like, Apple or anything?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it. But yes, guys, you can follow us on the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, and the YouTubes at Horror Cultural. So thank you for listening, guys. We love you, and stay tuned for the next episode.